get home with my lady. I kiss her on the cheek, sit down on the sofa, start lamenting. I said, baby, I'm so glad you're home. Oh, my week has been so long. She said, I know just what to do. Let me go get a glass for you, and we'll be sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality, cause I got you and you got me, and we gon' be alright. Yeah, sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality for tonight, cause I got you and we gon' be alright. Sit back, relax, enjoy the time, chilling with my lady right by my side. She gets a little heavy-handed, but I'm experienced and I can stand it. I'm feeling so mellow, I just forgot about the week. Oh, I'm gonna pour another one or two for my boo. She'll take another one and we'll be sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality, cause I got you and you got me, and we gon' be alright. Yeah, sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality for tonight, cause I got you and we gon' be alright. Just relaxing, sipping on gin with the tonic on the side and a lemon twist. Imagine this, yeah. Just relaxing, sipping on gin with the tonic on the side and a lemon twist. Imagine this, yeah. Sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality, cause I got you and you got me, and we gon' be alright. Yeah. Sipping on gin and tonic, dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality for tonight, cause I got you and we gon' be alright. Sipping on gin and tonic, sipping on, sipping on. Forget reality, cause I got you and you got me, and we gon' be alright. Yeah, sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality for tonight, cause I got you and we gon' be alright. Sipping on gin and tonic. Never thought I'd fallen in love again, no never, but my heart's been stolen again. This time, hope it lasts forever. We'll go beyond, 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 beyond. It's been a while now since love's been in this place. You see, many have tried, but no one could take your place, girl. Why you so beautiful? I see the future in your face, baby. Never in a million years I thought that you'd be mine, girl. That you'd be mine, girl. Never thought I would fall. No, never. But my heart's been stolen again. But my heart's been stolen. Last forever. We'll go. Ooh, baby. We'll go, baby. We keep going and growing, girl. The best thing is knowing, girl. Cause when we KISSING, all I can say is OMG. but you. I'ma put my ring on you. Never thought I'd no, never. Ooh, baby. Again. This time, hope it lasts forever. We'll go beyond. We will go so far. Beyond. Beyond. You'll always find what you're looking for, and you ain't looking for a thing. We ain't looking for a thing. Yeah, you'll always find what you're looking for, and you ain't looking for a thing. Never thought I. No, never. Ooh, baby. Been stolen again. This time, hope it lasts forever. You hope, baby. I hope it lasts forever, girl. I hope it lasts forever, girl. Hey, 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 hey. We will go, baby. We will go, baby. Ooh, we will go, baby. We will go so far, baby. I hope it lasts forever, baby. Anybody ever told ya what a woman really is? If you ever get the moment, show them how much they give. You're a shoulder I can cry on, arms I can embrace. Is to hear my deepest thoughts, protect her night and day. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are amazing, cause you have given life. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing. I try to describe. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You have birthed the nations. A nurturer you are. You bless us with your wisdom, and you tended every scar. You have found me broken. You have shown me light. You ignited all my passions and loved me through the night. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing, cause you have given life. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing. I try to describe. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
To be a woman is to be blessed with unparalleled intuition, to be powerful, power independent of place or position. To be a woman is to be a mother, giving birth to sons and daughters, ideas, institutions, and business ventures. To be a woman is to be the current inspiration, the future aspiration of a young lady, of a little girl.
masterpiece of harmony, a melody of life. You're a gem, a diamond flower in spring, you're one of a kind. You're a masterpiece of harmony, a melody of life. You're an African queen flower in spring, you're one of a kind. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. So you are amazing. I try to describe you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. You are woman. You are woman. You are. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. You are woman. And when obstacles manifest as natural, you are born for this.
To be a woman is to be the heart of the system, to be the one who brings life into our world.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I am your host, Neil, and joined as always by my brother from another mother and your co host, Derek.
Hail, hail, hail.
And we are here. No, um, boy, yeah, we are here. Um, how are you doing, my brother? How is everything? How is life treating you? What is happening?
Well,
What's happening?
I can't show. I'm here. I'm doing well. I had a pretty good workout today. We're getting a little extra heavy this week. So I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling good. So yeah, man, I am here and I am ready to crack on and do the Lord's work. What about you, man? What's going on?
I am good. I am here as well. Polka polka, as we would learn in Spanish. But other than that, man, yeah, just trying to remain positive as best as I could. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's a struggle, but as you say, we crack on nonetheless. Now, let us know, Derek, about the premier acapella group in Barbados and the Western Caribbean and the Western Hemisphere of this globe we call Earth.
Yeah, man, that would be G-Syndicate. Cranking all the time, doing good work. They got the guys, Kiel Malveda, Mark, Brett, Hugh, um, doing the thing. Trying to keep it tight. We're lucky to get back out there and start doing some live shows. We just putting together some repertoire lately, so that's been the push. And yeah, man. Outside of that, the man good. I don't know if I can see any of them in here tonight, but the man doing well.
Yeah, man. Shout out Marlon. Marlon just entered the chat. Hope everything is well, Marlon. And to anybody else that's watching, we hope you're well. Sound off. Let us know that you're all right. Let us know you're well. And yeah, as I said, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Now, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Dislike, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything coming on the pipeline. We do content for you 5 days a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have this space in live stream. This is where we talk the things. We get a little real and we get straight to the point. We don't dipsy doodle in this space. This space is a space from the perspective of men, right? And just us calling it how we see it, and based on conversations or data we would have seen with regards to how we see the dating landscape, we essentially just create this space and we talk. Then we have Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We have the Senate shorts. Those are a bit lighthearted. We still try to disseminate some education in there, but basically that is more the absurd of the dating market, the dating pool, and life in general. Because these spaces we need to talk the things. Carrie Ann is in the chat. Glad to see you, Carrie Ann. I see Hugh. Good night. Hope everybody is well. Now, as I said, every Tuesdays and Thursdays we come here at 8 p.m. and we talk the things. And of course, this is no different. I see Steve. Night, guys. The Bougie Van men are doing well. Yo, yeah, Steve. You need to sell the rights to your life to a publishing company so you can make some royalties because your stories are absolutely amazing. Anyhow,
Stuff of legend.
Stuff of legend. Everybody, let us know how you're doing in the chat. This is us checking in on everybody. For those who are here, whether you are a regular commenter in our live streams, whether you are not, you're whatever, we want to know how you are doing, how you are coping, how is everything. We want to hear from you as we continue, as we go. Shout out Aston. Aston's in the crank. Yeah, people, let me get some likes or dislikes happening. That's the price of our mission. We don't ask much. We ain't making the money here. We just want your engagement. No, obviously we have some people that comment, we have some people that share, but we want more comments, we want more likes and dislikes, and we want more shares so that we can get this conversation going and we can get to cranking. Now, Derek,
Yeah, man.
You, as I was telling people, usually you would come and you would, every Tuesday and Thursday before a live stream, you will go on our social media platforms, particularly Facebook. If you like and follow on the Senate Podcast Facebook page, there you usually go on there and you would create posts that would, one, let our audience know what is coming up next, let the public know what is going to be the next talking point on the Senate Podcast, as well as to start discussion, get them prepped, and kind of get into the mindset of what we're going to be talking about. Now, obviously, this Tuesday and Thursday is no different. Derek, you would have posted something on this Thursday. And let me see if I could get the title here real quick so I could tell the people what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the ugly truth. Why can't modern women, well, you have successful women by trying to make it fit, why can't successful women find and keep an eligible man for a long-term relationship? Right? Somebody messaged me and told me this is going to be very interesting. Of course, I think this is going to be riveting. So take it away, my brother. Let's get the conversation going.
Yeah, man. Well, on Tuesday, we had a video, and this is going to be like part 2 of the discussion, right? Because on Tuesday we saw the video, and I provided some solutions. Provided solutions for successful women who want to.
You want to recap those solutions? Just
sure.
Talking points, just the bullet points.
I can do that. The solutions that I would have proffered would have been: 1, be a situational lesbian; 2, divest or swirl, i.e. date outside your race; 3, become a cougar, date some young boys; 4, what was 4 again? Settle for a guy beneath you. Yeah, I know some of the ladies start settling, but settle for a guy beneath you. And 5, share a man. Go after the man you want and share him, right? Those were the options that I would have presented to the ladies. Now, I am telling you point blank that, those options were not perfect, nor were they long-term solutions to the problem, right? So just so that we can quickly recap, let's get the video again. Let's put the video on screen so that everybody can, refresh their minds as to what was said in said video. This is a conversation between Kendra G and Rebecca Lynn Pope. This is important, right?
Yeah.
Kendra G, Rebecca Lynn Pope.
Shout out, Laura. Good night. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man.
We get it.
I think the challenge is that women are having, black women in particular, when it comes to becoming a wife.
Keeping it 100,
yes.
There's not enough eligible black males who fit the needs of black women. By the time you dissect the demographics of finances, sexual orientation, what you end up drilling down into, because black women tend to want to marry black men.
Right.
So black women are excelling. They're getting accelerated degrees, graduate degrees, doctorate degrees. They're starting businesses. Black women are running circles around men.
Right.
And it's also shown in research that women want to marry on their same level of financial and educational status.
Yeah.
So if you're a black woman making $150,000 a year with a master's degree, you tend to want to marry a black man on that same level or higher. If black women are excelling at such an accelerated rate, how do men keep up with?
And
right.
And then we talked about how Just to recap, we talked about very briefly about how first things first, get our homosexuality in black men out your mouth as a reason why. That is a reason why you can't find an eligible man if you're a successful woman, because the rate at which black men are homosexual is not at a rate that's keeping you from your eligible man. Sure, he may be married. Sure, he may be average, but he definitely is not homosexual. And then we spoke about, the options that you had. So
right.
Let me move from there.
Right, we can go forward now, right? No, because I'm a bit of a troll, and a villain. I thought it necessary because when Rebecca Lynn Pope said what she said, Kendra G, she, was like, expressing noises of approval. So I felt it necessary to show the other side of this discussion, right? And in order to kick off tonight's discussion, we are going to hear from Rebecca Lynn Pope. We're going to hear from Kendra G. And we're going to hear from Rebecca Lynn Pope again, right? Before I go into what I think needs to be said. So Anita will send you 3 videos. You can run them one behind the next. And the first video is Rebecca Lynn Pope. And this is from a few years ago, I believe. Let me just check. Yes, it's from a few years ago when she spoke about why she is quitting the matchmaking game.
Right.
And this is what she had to say.
Standards are standardizing you right. Standards are standardizing you right out of the game. Everybody else is getting married. Everybody else is having babies. But you steady like, oh, I'm not settling. I'm not going to settle. I know what I deserve. I'm not going to settle. But in the meantime, boo, you're not even half the things that you have on your list as requirements for a man. You're not even half those things.
Right. And then we had, you want Kendra now?
Yeah, give me Kendra G. Kendra G, this one is even more recent. This is like 2 weeks ago, right? On her very own show.
Right. So let me cue her up here. Second.
Please note, folks, these are the same two ladies that were having this discussion only last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the same two ladies talking again.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to take direct criticism. And you know what? That's why your ass is gonna be watching me as long as I do the show. And you ain't gonna get a man because you're not strong enough to woman up and maybe realize there's some shit you got to get together, okay? So I'm really done with the sensitive women that watch the show that are always complaining when I got to give a woman real talk. And I do it in the most sensitive way as possible.
Right, and then we go in with the other,
Yeah,
Rebecca.
Rebecca on the roommates show. Shout out the roommates.
Shout out the roommates. Yeah, man.
Chris.
That's good content there. So let me do that up here. Real talk. Here. All right. So here we go.
The female list would be like a laundry list of things that came down to height, income. Of course, nobody wants to seem shallow, so they don't want to come right out and talk about what kind of car you drive, what part of town do you live in, what do you do for a living. But if you kind of take it in its entirety, it is pretty shallow in some ways, right? Because it's so specific to the point that, you know, women in their list, they don't realize you're talking about like not even 1% of the male population.
Said it. Yeah. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
So please note, folks, those are the same two ladies saying what they had to say, right? So let me just thought of set the table with those ladies. I think let me say here that it's very important who you listen to in these streets, right? Be careful who you listen to. Anyhow,
even let me add to that. Even if you are listening to people, if you've chosen somebody to listen to, everything that they're saying, you got to take as gospel. They got content creators. Facts. They got content creators that we listen to. These big here regular that not everything they say we agree with, but it is important to find and listen to everything so that you could come away with something.
Yeah, it's like a menu. You take from that which applies to you, and then you leave back the rest, right? There's not enough eligible black males who fit the needs of black women. That's from the voice of Rebecca Lynn Pope, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, I told you all on Tuesday, she told no lies. And I can tell you that again, it's a fact. She told no lies. There are not enough eligible black men who fit the needs of black women. That is indeed a fact. But, that fact is grounded in arrogance and delusion. And it presupposes that something is wrong with all the men and nothing could be wrong with the women. So we are going to dissect it tonight because there are other reasons that exist as to what, and Rebecca Lynn Pope can outline some of them, as to why women cannot find men, and to make men the scapegoat would be unfair. Right? You see, men, we can't say, or rather men can't say that they can't find a decent woman because women are subpar. We can't say that, right? Because if a man was to say or suggest something, I immediately hear that he needs to do what, Neil? He needs to change his dating pool. And we heard that firsthand right here on this very platform. Correct, Neil?
Facts. Factual.
Yeah.
That's right.
You see, the concept of a good man is completely foreign, right? A good man simply does not exist. And to acknowledge that he does exist would mean that you will have to start looking at the other parties involved in this man-woman situation, right? So it's easier to blame the fish and not the fisherman, right? Or in this instance, the fisherwoman.
Fisher person.
Why can't an average woman accept an average man? That's a question, right? That's a legit question. Why can't an average woman accept an average man? There are women from all walks of life, successful, unsuccessful, rich, poor, who have found partners and maintain long-term relationships or marriages. But when we factor in the criteria that Black women look for in order for a man to even qualify for their consideration, not to qualify to be the man, but to qualify for consideration to be said man, we see clearly that many men don't and will never qualify, right? Potential partners or suitors must be tall, good looking. As everybody, Eric Lewis said it best when he took me for Santa Claus. He said, hey, tall, good looking, handsome and slim, right? Fit, well dressed, and earning $100K in a white collar field. White collar field. Yeah. You can't be no farmer.
Can't be sweaty. You don't want no.
Smelling musty.
As the Godfather would say, you don't want nobody smelly and sweaty when coming.
Exactly. You might
dirty fingernails.
Hard.
Yeah,
you don't want that, right? Gotta be a shirt, a tie job, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at that criteria, based on that criteria, right, we know that we are looking at a small percentage of men, right? Shoot, Rebecca Lamport said just now, small percentage of men. I think she narrowed it down to like 1% just now in the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the hard part for a lot of women to process, right? The number of men that do qualify based on that criteria is finite. Said it on Tuesday, let me say it again. There's no high value man store. There are no more of these men on the production line. Yeah, you can't create more of them. You can't get them to raise the standard. You can't force the currently existing men to become better qualified for you, right? Another challenge with this is that most women, I don't want to say all, most women believe that they are on the level that entitles them to have access to one of those 1% men, as Rebecca Lamport said. A small percentage of men. Okay? But here's the problem. Consider, folks, that women have ruined the approach game for men. So men can't approach a woman on a job, can't approach you at church. I saw a link this morning, a man approached a woman at a gym, can't approach a woman at a bar. Shoot, not even in a supermarket. Big at Stephen Wu. Yeah? You can't approach a woman in none of these places without being thought of as a creep, having some kind of ill intent or risk being Me Too'd and blasted on various social media platforms, right? So the result of that is men are now keeping to themselves and waiting for clearly expressed intent from women in order to approach them. Unfortunately, though, women hate rejection and aren't willing to expose themselves to even the possibility of rejection by approaching a man first. So what else we got? Because hear them tell it, men just saying it ain't good enough, right? So what else we got? Women prioritize their careers. By their own admission, women prioritize their careers, their education and their careers, right? Nothing wrong with that, right? To hear Rebecca Lamport tell it, they are running circles around men, right? I mean, my words, her words, right? Want men on their financial and educational status. Not my words, her words. The challenge with this now, folks, is that the criteria has nothing to do with the character of the man. His views on child rearing, his spirituality, his ethics, morals, none of them things. Yeah? It is grounded in superficiality i.e. height, swag, educational background, career, and annual earnings. Now, these things are important. Don't get me wrong. Money is indeed important. Earning is indeed important, right? Getting your education is indeed important. Unfortunately, though, a lot of ladies seem to think that their degree and career transforms them and puts them right up there along Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. And anybody who doesn't have a master's is suddenly beneath them. Unfortunately, though, ladies, we know the pay scales and we know the cost of living in BIM. And we know that many women aren't balling like they would like us to believe. Many women have credit cards that are smoking from overuse in their purses and get assistance from the various males in their orbit. And I'm not saying that you got all these men laying on your bed. I'm not saying that, but it could be a father, uncle, a brother, cousin, anything so, you know what I mean? But then they turn around, Neil, and they have the gall, nay, the unmitigated temerity to talk about how they're strong and independent.
Facts.
Yeah. Here's another challenge, folks. Many women get their degrees and these high-paying jobs, but they don't want to bring their money to the relationship.
Oh, Bumbaclaw.
They could play that for you. They could play that for you. Yeah. They still want a man to take care of them and the household. We talked about this on Tuesday. Women look on the same level or above, right? Hence why the Van Man can't get the love. Big at the Van Man, right?
And Stephen Wu.
And Steve Wu. Would you Van Man? But here's the challenge with this, no Neil, right? Shout out Obsidian. Umia Obsidian Ali. Shout out Umia. Fantastic content creator. Right? The challenge with this, because you want a man above you, this then destroys the argument that women make for a relationship that is a partnership. Because we don't need to talk about partnership all the time on this channel, right?
That was like literally one of our first shows, like probably second show.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Partnership. On the door.
Nah,
you want partnership, right?
Yep.
But here's the thing. If you wanted an equal partnership, you would get with a man and both of you build together.
Cheese on bread, man. Say that again, man. Give me the air horns. Lord of mercy.
I got hook you up.
Say that again, though. Say it again.
If you wanted a partnership, an equal partnership, you would get with a man and both of you build together.
Wait, is it you or did you get this from somebody else? Women don't build the movie.
Actually, that's a fresh and fit line, believe it or not.
That's fine.
That's fine. In this instance, we could quote them here.
Yeah,
right?
yes. Take a bit of everything. It's not everything. This is asinine. Almost everything, but not everything.
A lot of it, but yeah, yeah. But you all know the women about that building thing, right? Women want a ready done man, no assembly required.
The only building they want is if they could build a man. If we can be honest, but anyhow, this is not what this is about.
So let me ask the question, folks. What is the point of the degree, the job, and the money if you don't intend to bring them to the relationship? Right? Again, be brief tonight because shoot, we got some stuff to do after. And I really want to hear from the people on this.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the things that actually do matter in order to preserve interpersonal relationships, they ignore. They pay little attention to their weight and appearance past hair and nails, as my mom she would tell, weaving and sandling. They have terrible argumentative attitudes. They are unpleasant and uncooperative with no intention of following a man's lead, and they will tell you that too, right, Erica? Yeah. They have no intention of making a man's life any easier. They have traumas from their childhood and past relationships which they haven't dealt with, which made them unable to sustain a relationship with anyone other than their pets. And only because the pet can't respond verbally. More than likely, the poor animals just can't wait for an opportunity to escape. Ladies, your career advancement does not make you marriage or long-term relationship worthy. If it did, Oprah would have had her pick of the litter for the longest. What does matter to men Because at the end of the day, you want men. It's men you want. You don't want women, you want men. So you got to appeal to men. What does matter to men is how physically appealing you are and how pleasant you are. Men are very easy. We're real simple, right? You don't have to be a beauty queen, but you know, at least look like you give a damn and a man and make your man feel good. And that man will be willing to move mountains for you. Now, I know the thought of or the concept of making a man feel good makes some of you women want to hurl. And if that's how you feel, that's fine. That's your right. But I'm sure you want your man to do the same for you, make you feel good. I want your man to look good too, right? So if you don't want to look good or be pleasant, be cooperative, none of them things, that's fine. Just don't complain about results you didn't get for the work that you didn't do. Just quietly step to the side. Emphasis on quietly. Yeah? Don't be on social media confusing the place and talking junk. Just quietly step to the side and let those who actually want to work it out with someone do so in peace. In the meantime, I'm sure Massey sells dog and cat food.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Kindly like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything coming out the pipeline. 5 days a week we do this content. So if you don't want to miss anything, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like or dislike. It does not matter, but most importantly, share the content so we can build the community and get these conversations going. As we say, if you're a supporter, share so that we can get the word out. If you are a detractor, share so to get the word out so you can stop us, because misogyny and all that. All right. So you know what, it's starting to feel like we saying the same things over and over, but that is but you know what, that is fine, because that's repetition is the best way to learn, right?
Yep.
To say that when in school, I'd do it over and over.
Drill and practice, man. Drill and practice.
Right. When we was doing our times table, those of you that play sports, those of you that go to the gym, those of you that the same people that got masters and stuff like that, repetition. Right? So this is what I would say on this, right? I think it is hilarious. I think I am finding the absurdity, the hypocrisy, and the double speech I'm getting from the modern woman, right? Modern women, they've worked hard for their careers, they've worked hard for their degrees, they've worked hard for their money, position, and status in this society. Modern women have done the work to get their career where they want. And by some measure and degree, one can argue that they deserve a man on their level, the stipulations that they want for their man. They want a man on their level or higher, they want a man with a degree or higher, they want a man that brings in what they make or higher. Right? In this space, we've had conversations and women say point blank, a man must have a job. And then when you hear them really talk, they want the man must have a career, not a job, because let's be honest, having a job is working at a gas station, but women don't want that. He must have ambition. So really and truly, they want a man with a career, right? And even then, if he's a career gas attendant, that is what they want. They don't want a man that is smelly. They don't want a man that has dirt on his fingernails. They don't want a man that is sweating. Yeah. I think it is funny because women would say, some modern women would say they want men on a certain level, certain characteristics, certain standard, etc., etc., etc. But whenever we have these conversations, if you ever check it, Derek, whenever we get to talking about certain characteristics, if the man is kind, genuine, honest, faithful, all of these sort of conversations, those talking points come severely after we find out that this man has money and status. And he's 6 foot, how much ever he is, and got the cure for cancer. He draw string and penis down by his knees and got washboard abs, and he look like he's a Superman. So it is interesting when you really drill down what do women want. If you want a man that has means, money, status, career, etc., we are here to tell you that you're not looking for average man, you're not looking for blue collar man, you're looking for a man that is not going to appease to you, and he is not going to accept your unwillingness to submit, and you being contentious, and you keeping it 100, you being a real boss bitch. Because those men are busy doing what you do when the day comes, which is work. Some of you firmly believe that you're a price. Some of you believe that because you work, pay your bills, you take care of yourself, you're self-sufficient, you're an independent mother woman, that makes you a price. But we are here to tell you that that works against a man that is looking for marriage and a family. Because if you're independent, you are not qualified for interdependent relationship. That's what relationships are. They're interdependent. So you're independent. You know, you got your own money. I was watching a content creator today, shout out MTR. He was doing a video. There was a video of a woman. She's a millionaire. She's always lived in luxury, etc. And she was saying she's 25. She's a millionaire. She does very, very well for herself, but she wants a man on her level or higher, right? And the man must provide. And that brings me to the other point where I find it interesting that a lot of women want traditional men, traditional gender roles in men, but are unwilling to fulfill their traditional gender roles as women because of the color purple, because of the one or two stories you would have heard from the 60s and 70s from our parents, because of things you would have seen in the village where a man rests his hand in a woman, or he was unfaithful and had, 4 other women.
Family.
Right. Right? Y'all look at those things. Most of y'all look at these things from the perspective of children, and you all make judgment calls on them as adults. And you say, not me as a woman, I'm washing a man's dishes. The man can't one up me. You're not washing a man's dishes or cooking a meal for a man. You're not willing to submit to a man because you are fearful of being Oprah Winfrey in the color purple with Mr. Yeah? You are fearful of the man, one, coming to light that he has cheated on you and he has another family. Right? You're not looking at the fact that, Derek, you said earlier, women make your man feel good. No, I can break that down because I know a lot of some women, I can hear it, as being these streets, not as to your extent, but I have, heard some talk. And some women will say, women make man feel good. Well, I'm being a boy cheerleader.
Yeah.
And being a body,
Yep.
I'm being put in a boy stylist with a pom-pom. You want
I
therapist?
tell you this, right, Neil, when in the lead up to us beginning this channel last year, that was one of the things I put up and about making a man feel good or something like that. And women say straight up that they've been doing it.
You are right. I actually do remember that. You are right. I can remember the woman too. She said her job is not to be no cheerleader. She's a partner, right? I find it interesting. And so I wanted to break down that statement. Let me say make your man feel good, right? Just be appreciative of your man. Be appreciative of what your man does. A lot of women, they buy socks for their man. I call that appreciation. Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of women would
Like,
give a man, and here's the thing, give a man sex once a week. That is appreciation. Or once a month. That is appreciation. Appreciation is speaking life into your mind. You say when you want your man to speak life into you, speak life into your mind. Yeah, words of affirmation is a very important thing to a man. A man don't need it. Sorry, a man is not going to ask for words of affirmation because a man is going to go about his business. But saying that, babe, you're doing a good job. I appreciate you. Now let me carry you to dinner. Or let me make this meal for you. Or you know what? Let me take a trip. It on me. Yeah? Because when I got it, when I'm successful. Yeah? I know it's funny to hear. It's funny to hear.
Indeed it is, because just before we came on earlier this evening, I was watching a content creator reviewing a Kendra G, actually. And she was saying she makes north of $100,000 a year. And she looking for a man, 45 years old, 2 children. And she's saying point blank, she is not paying for vacations.
Right. She's not paying for vacations, right? So I find it's just hilarious to me. And I often ask, what do women want? What does the modern woman want? Because it's fine if you don't want a man. It is fine if you don't want a man. It's fine if you just want a man to sexually please you and to be on your arm, to go to dinner and pay for things for you. That is fine. But even in that, there are certain things you are going to have to do as a woman. If you're a woman making 100,000 a year, you're a millionaire as a woman. You got it like that. You got your businesses, you got your degrees, you got everything you want. And you just want a man to facilitate your lifestyle without you spending your money. You want a man to give you some sex when you want. You want a man to fly you out. You want a man to look good on your arm when you go to the club. Your man must match your hard work in the gym. You know, your body is on and popping. His gotta be on and popping too. You want a man to be a mirror image of you, but you ain't submitting. You ain't doing certain things. That is fine, right? Understand that there are still some things that you're going to have to do. Because a man is not going to do things in a vacuum. A man is not going to take you up, fly you out, pay for everything you want. And whenever you feel like, granted, sex is on you. Whenever you want to have sex, you want to have sex. But if you decide to never have sex, you decide to never cook a meal, you decide to do nothing around the house, the man decides to do it, but the man still got to pay for your trips, your nails, your hairs, your hair and everything like that, right? If you got children, the older you get, you might got children, but I don't take care of your children too. Man got to do all of these things and he gets nothing in return. Matter of fact, some people would say the mere being, what was it? Being graced with my presence. Being being in my
table with presence.
Right, gracing my table, gracing your table with my presence is enough for you. So then I ask Meg, what is the benefit of getting with a woman that gives you nothing in return? What's the benefit of that? You understand? Because love out the door now. Love is out the door when we talk about these types of women. You don't want a man for love. You want a man for things. You want a man for looks. You want a man for the facade of success. You don't want a man for love. So let me put that on one side. So then, the man can't have no other woman. I forget to mention that. He can't have another woman. Man must be faithful to you. So the man must come home, cook his own meal, pay for the maid to clean his house, buy some jerkins from my man Aston that got stocks in jerkins, and rub out one in the kitchen in the shower because you ain't feel like getting man of sex.
And he can't do it next to you because you'll be vexed.
Exactly. And when you do get the man sex, you get the shell top bend over crab or whatever. You just there taking it, right? So the man must endure all of this, and then let's not talk about, because there is verbal abuse too. This is something that gets my goat because it is not talked about a lot. It is glossed over. Emotional and verbal abuse.
Mm-hmm.
You see, a lot of people, women, like to talk about emotional and verbal abuse, right? From narcissists. And as soon as you raise your voice, you're a narcissist. As soon as you disagree and reject what they say, you're a narcissist. As soon as you have a backbone and say, nah, that ain't a word with me, you're a narcissist. Please trouble. Everybody's a psychologist and psychiatrist now. We turn about terms. Narcissism, misogyny, etc., 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 right? So the man must endure all of this. Man can't raise his voice, but you can tell him, man, however you want, because he's a real one. You can tell him, man, yo, you don't make enough money. Yo, what you doing out late when the night come? Yo, you gonna wear this? Yo, I think because y'all initiating divorce at 70 to 80%, meaning that y'all are finding fault somewhere. So I ask modern women, and this I guess we can open the phone lines if anybody. A matter of fact, let us know if you want to call in. If you, I could put the link on and we could talk. We could have a conversation. But I really want to hear from people. The question I'm gonna ask, I want women to call in as well. Modern women, what do you all want in a man? Realistically, what do you want in a man? Do you want a man to be a man in that he provides and protects for you, no matter what that looks like? Do you want a man to love and to be with through thick and thin, hard or soft, good or bad? Because that's another thing too. A lot of women still want, that pie in the sky, that Disneyfication and romanticism of love. Because the man must still be willing to kick open the castle door and storm the castle and kill everything in there and save the woman from the dragon. And storm the room. Right? Go up there with no affair he heart. No affair he heart, right? And The man must slay the evil king, the witch, and the dragon and save you. And then profess his love. Get down on one knee. So what do you women really want? Because from my experience, from talking to other men, from seeing the statistics and the data, it shows me that women don't know what they want. They have no clue. They are pulled in various directions because of what society has. Society says, you know what? Be successful. Money is success. Power, status is success. Get that. Nuclear family is no longer success. Go and get your paper. Go and get your degree. You go and get that. You forego your relationship. And now you're in your mid-30s, 40s. You got your degree. You got your money, everything like that. And you're demanding. You are outright demanding your 6 foot, 6 inch, 6 ab, 6 figure man. Man must walk through the door, and man must know the Idris Elba, right? And the man must know how to grab you up by the hair and, make sweet love to you and know when to cater to you.
And grab up by the hair, is no.
Right, for real. And the man must also, know when to rub your feet and speak life into you, all with expecting nothing in return. Nothing. In return.
I got you, dog. I got you.
Right? So realistically, what do y'all women want? Because what we men want is we just want somebody to get through life with and be a downfall. I'm not saying mistakes ain't gonna happen. I ain't gonna say that the road gonna be smooth. I ain't gonna say there'll be ups and downs, hills and valleys. I ain't gonna say that me as a leader ain't gonna make mistakes. I'm not saying me as a human being or a man, I'm not gonna make mistakes. That's all I'm saying. But I'm saying what we want, we just want downfall. We just want somebody to be in our corner and to understand and meet our needs as we meet and understand your needs as well. Yeah? It has to be a give and take. So that is my question to the women out there today, right? What do modern women, what do you want? What do you want in a man? What does that look like to you? And I know a lot of women in here, they are reasonable to the point where they would say, they want a man down and they are willing to submit. Some of them, most of them be willing to submit and all of those things. But then I want you to speak to modern women, because as much as y'all women would like to say, I don't know what y'all talk about, not me, not the friends I know, whatever. Y'all have friends that are like this. Y'all have people that y'all know that like this. Y'all's work with women like this.
And cheer them on Facebook and Instagram.
And Twitter. So what do y'all women want? If y'all are gonna call in, let us know. We could open the phone lines. We can have conversations. You don't have to be on camera. We just need your voice. And let me get the conversation cranky. Men. Let me ask the men now. No, men, we've said it in this space. Men, go do and be better. We say that all the time. Be on your purpose. Do what's best for you. You understand? Work on your health. Work on your career. Work on you. Figure that out. And be the best version of you for you. And let anything else, any number play. Right? We are not in a space of, because y'all talk about misogyny and stuff like that. That is a space of misogyny. I personally don't support the suppression, oppression, or anything like that of women. Right? Me, I want to see men and women get through. I want to see men and women happy together. I want to see men and women, especially in the black community, raising whole families. Because we do not have whole families in the black community. And I figured it out there. Before I think, I figured it out. I was thinking about this since Tuesday. We in the black community got so much problems because it stems from slavery, and we have a problem with authority. See? We have a problem with authority. In any form or fashion, we have a problem with authority. So when you bring it to the context of relationships, and you say the man is the head of the house, or the man is, you're supposed to submit to your man, or let's go to traditional gender roles or whatever. And I say, who? Oh boy, we see that already, yeah? We get whipped. We get the family ripped apart. You understand? We watch The Color Purple. We know them times. You understand? No, you don't. No, you don't. You do not fully understand those times. You do not understand that back then, families stayed together. And women and men got the job done. There wasn't mass raping. I can't say the other word, but y'all know what I mean. There wasn't mass domestic abuse. There wasn't these terrible and misogynistic things in the black community. Black men and women had a had a common oppressor. So back then,
and it's funny how you back then we were under the most pressure. We stayed together longer.
okay then.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's weird.
Exactly. And then we could do a history lesson and we could talk about how the economics played into the part, how zoning, and I see Ruben was mentioning about Tulsa, Oklahoma, how they had the Black Wall Street and everything like that, and then Juneteenth happening where people came in and destroyed everything and killed people and whatever. The point remains is we have to look, instead of looking at the bad history, instead of looking at the history that you believe was happening on a grand scale, look at the positives of the Black family. Instead of looking at your grandmother and say, you I see my grandmother raised 8 children and 7 grandchildren and cook and clean for my grandfather, and she didn't look happy at all because she was always grumbling and moaning and singing she Negro spirituals. Instead of looking at that, have a conversation with women of that age. Have conversations with your mother and talk to them about relationships instead of going from your perspective. I encourage men to do the same too. If you can, talk to older men about relationships. And I know a lot of men, because a lot of people are going to grumble. You know, men is this, women is that, or whatever. But we don't want that. We want the practical stuff. We want the practical stuff. Yeah? So you saw your grandmother, your mother slaving away in the kitchen when your father come home, put his feet up, he cleaning, she cleaning all over the thing. And the man getting vexed because grumbling under his breath because the food wasn't on the table by he used. But talk to that woman and ask that woman, you know, what did that love look like? What was the practical execution of that love day in and day out? What was the commitment to each other? Times have changed. No, you are not your grandmother because you could decide to go and work, but somebody got to come home, cook and clean. Now, if you all both decide to do that, fine. You understand? If you all decide to hire a maid, do that, fine. But you still have to find ways to submit to your man because guess what? Your man is submitting to you. Your man is submitting to you. When a man says yes there, when a man is give money so that the woman could go and buy and take care of groceries, when the man allows the woman to choose a restaurant, when a woman says, you know what, I think it would be better if we do X, Y, and Z with this nest egg that we have or whatever. When she is raising the children and making sure that the children have the best meals and going to sleep at a certain time and doing the homework and stuff like that, right? That is a man saying, you know what? I can know my role and shut my mouth. So if the man is submitting to you women and y'all don't want to submit to men, talk, like stop looking and perceiving and talk. If you can't talk, shoot, ain't gonna be a mother or grandmother. Find a mother or grandmother. It might not be yours. Find a mother or grandmother and talk to them. One that has been married and has done it. But by and large, we here looking at, shoot, I remember when I was young, Miss Pearlie was in the village and she husband rings so much horns and she, Lord of mercy, when he dead boy, he had about 4, she was devastated. I don't know, she's a better woman than me because if he come and bring another children, I know Miss Pearlie raised, he outside children and thing. You know that Desiree ain't ready, she child, but you know she raised our child, not me, girl, if it to me. It's getting the echo chambers of the negative and come out with hate in their eyes. So, let's stop talking about what all women want in terms of I want my man to be XYZ, ABC, up, down, left, right, select, start in a relationship. First things first, ascertain if you want a relationship, like a committed, long-lasting marriage relationship. If you want that, you gotta do some soul searching and have some conversations because none of you were raised to be wives. Shoot, none of we men were raised to be husbands either. Let me keep it we keep it real. Were you raised to be a husband, Derek?
Nah.
I wasn't raised to be a husband, but you were married. At a point in time, I want to be married. A lot of men in this chat are married. Very few of them have been practically taught how to be married. It's funny how women go to school to get their degrees, to learn how to do whatever they want to do to the level of master and PhD, but ain't willing to learn how to be somebody's wife, be somebody relationship support. Same here with men. We out here, but rather gonna get behind us dirty. We would do anything before we get emotionally vulnerable and learn how to be husbands. So let me dive in the chat a bit, Derek. People, let me know if y'all want to come through. If I can put the link out, and y'all could call in. Let me know if that is something y'all are interested in.
It's interesting, but I would point out that, or I would posit that I think men are more romantic and emotionally vulnerable than we would want to admit.
Facts.
Because we still believe in that love thing.
Facts.
We still get caught up in it.
Facts.
I tell you that we get caught up with love. Women looking for personal advancement, right? You know what I mean? That hypergamy and all that. But hey,
facts. All facts.
So let me go all the way back up. Ruben said fit the needs. No, she said needs. Yeah, but we conflating wants and needs, right? Not enough black men to marry because society has beat them down and locked them up, says Carrie Ann. So that is another side of the issue. That may apply. But do you really want to marry a man as a felon? You know? And here in Barbados, that doesn't really apply because Barbados, I don't think we got 1,000 men in Dodds. So it doesn't really apply for us, right? Carrie, you see these women and their damn selective amnesia. Yeah, it'd be funny, you know, when your words come out and bite you like that. Gotta stay on the course. And of course, the elephant in the room is the fact that the African American community is not a patriarchy. Yeah, you see Justin in the house.
Justin, well,
just says it. God bless Patrick Archer.
Yeah, Patty.
Pay for our sins, a road for our justification. Multiple sources of income. Preach, Pastor Derek, says Carrie Ann. Thank you so much. Pump the chore and go, says Tariq. Welcome, my brother. Good to see you. Pump the chore. Nuclear African American families building together happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but they were slaughtered by the Klan before their extremely successful model went viral. Here ended the lesson. Thanks be to God. Thank you, Aston. But near the list of wants are transposed into a list of needs. Yeah, we're not talking. You see, the challenge with this whole thing is that, well, let me just say, women nowadays want, and I'm not going to say it's their fault. I'm actually going to absolve women a little bit in this regard. You see, social media is a real strange thing, right? And acts kind of like, it used to act like a mirror, but now it is more shaping and guiding attitudes and perceptions and all that. So it's not reflecting anymore more than it is kind of teaching a lot of people on what they want. And when we talk about the Instagramification and the Disneyfication of relationships and stuff like that, that is very, very real. So now women want to live in luxury, you know.
Women will wear bikinis, look like supermodels.
A yacht, as one master.
A yacht.
Open a yacht every weekend.
A yacht, for those of you that don't know, that Derek does that for you. But yeah. Yep.
That's what they want to do. Get on a yacht, go up on the ocean, take some pictures, post it on the gram. Yeah. Spend all your money doing that, your bread. But hey, you work another week to do that again on the next weekend. Mm-hmm. Or you take your money and go to somebody fancy cafe and stand in front of pair wings that paint up on the wall. Or going to take pictures in front Champer's sign.
But you know that some of these women going on boats that got a lattice on it and taking pictures with long necks. So I'm posing for the gram in a fishnet shirt over a bikini that's showing all of the vagina and talking about, you know, sometimes God gives you lemons. They're looking at their feet with them behind up. You know, sometimes God gives you challenges and struggles, but thank God I'm able to live a life that I've always wanted and deserved. And, you know, he's given me
that Instagramification, right? That instant gratification. Wait, that's what he said? That Instagramification, where we live for today, we live for the weekend. Right? We live for the weekend so we could post it on the gram. And that is what got women saying, well, hey, I can't deal with this man. This man, shoot. For me, for example, he's a school teacher. Can't deal with this man because guess what? He's a school teacher. He's paying bills. Bills are a very real part of his life.
As in, to be fair, he gets in a line at sure pay and pay his bills. Because
correct,
those rich men pay bills too, but they have people that pay the bills for them.
Correct. Not me. I gotta pay my bills myself. Right? So nobody checking for me. I drive a little small car, nobody checking for me. You know what I mean? So the fella like me, the average man, the average Joe in the street, you know, the girls are checking me because guess what? We can't provide that lifestyle. I can't put you up on the boat every weekend, even if the boat got lattice on it, as they say.
Yeah, the boat
right?
got lattice.
Right? So,
and the aqua mouse.
the aqua mouse, the aqua rodent, right? So I can't put you up on a yacht. I can't put you up on a boat with lattice with the aqua rodent. Shoot, I can't even put you on a little Moses. Yeah? A glass bottom boat. So then the benefit to check in the average Joe like me.
Yeah, there you go. Right? Save up to travel. We have
shoot.
to save. Shoot, I got to save up to travel. But women
most men do.
But women want men. I mean? Women want men that hop on planes and
lay them up on the whim.
Right.
But and I'm gonna say it again, I'm gonna give them just a little bit of a pass because that social media, that social proofing, that dopamine hit. We got a very good friend of my mama just say, if you want to see women like just start hitting you up for no reason, post a pic of you traveling and see what happens. Right? Post a pic of you traveling and watch how all of a sudden people in your DMs. And
I would even take that a step further. Post yourself in a position of status and wealth. Like for me, for example, I worked on a project earlier this year. I could have flooded Instagram. I could have flooded Instagram and put hashtags out the wazoo. And I sure people be like, boy, you know, big head. Shoot, we saw that with a friend of ours over the weekend.
Yeah.
My he ain't here for this girl though. Ages in months, nearly a year. He posts a picture at a hoity-toity, all-inclusive event. All of a sudden it's hey big hey. Hey stranger. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Let me point this out, folks. They like we don't get paid for this, right? I was to say this at the top of the show when they heard those two ladies talking, right? They don't get paid to do this show. We do the show every week, twice a week, because we like it and we love it, right? Plus, we figure that it's important. We got some things that we need to say on behalf of other men whose message we and don't have the platform to say. So that's why we come and we say. So we don't get paid to come and talk this, right?
Yeah, and we are popular, you know.
Trust me, we didn't get paid to talk when we talking later.
Yeah. And just to be clear, we are popular, you know. We're not seen as gurus in certain circles.
I don't think it's certainly not that, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, let me get back in this chat here, right? I said their wants are their needs, otherwise they would be settling. Yeah? They don't understand the difference, says Ruben. Damon John, Fubu said escorts are a better arrangement than a wife. Funny enough, he married a white woman. But that's another story.
Rascalat.
Very attractive one, by the way. Too many of these ladies want one simple thing, more. Some of these ladies are the dragon, says Jason. Storming the room might get causing to get beat by two naked men.
Who's that person?
Correct, Tiger Fox. Correct, Tiger Fox, buddy boy. As soon as he walks away from the lack of resolution, communication, understanding, and respect, he's not worthy of handling a real woman. He must take you as you are while you settle. Everybody done settling.
Yeah.
Lee in the house. Lee says men expect a lot, but women much more. Jason showed up brutal crank star.
For
real. Bad and bad. Yeah, Jason, compared to the Christmas list I see from these ladies, men want comparatively little.
We say all the time, men want peace of mind and sex. That's all we want. Anything that men say they want will go into, like, think of a flow chart. it will come back to peace and peace. Piece and peace. We
Yes.
just want the loving and little quiet. That's all we want.
That's
We
it,
don't care
boy.
we don't care how you look, right? All we ask is that keep yourself a certain sort of way because we can try to keep yourself a certain sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
Be willing and ambitious. That's all we want, and all of that comes back into peace and
Peace
peace.
and peace. What you want. When looks and personality in women are mostly inversely proportional, a man can never get what he wants. Wow.
No. But you see, here's the thing. In 2022, it has nothing to do with what men want. You see, according to some people, according to some women, men have gotten what they wanted for millennia. We've gotten what we wanted for millennia. We've conquered countries. We've married multiple women. We have raped and pillaged all over the place to our heart's content. So as far as they're concerned, that done. It is the age of the woman, which is funny to me again because you want equality. You say you want fairness. You want equal rights and justice. But yet still, you moving as if you want unilateral power. And we may just go shut up and deal with it.
Is a revenge thing in these things now, though. I've noticed it that's way, really. Right? My guy Jason says, get the likes up. This is quality content. We endorse that.
Yes,
Much
we do.
as my uncle would say, we approve this message. So get the likes up, guys. We appreciate it. Laura says, I disagree. Men are taught by what they see at home. Everybody.
No. I am glad you said that, Laura. I think you're disagreeing with something I said about being taught to be husbands and wives. You can correct me if I'm wrong. If that is the case, we all are taught by what we see at home, right? There are a lot of us that were in relate. So let me put it to you like this, right? You're taught by what you see at home. Now, I could spend my entire life in a carpenter shop, right? And I could understand and pick up some tricks of the trade, and I could put together a table, but would it be of quality if I did some internship and apprenticeship under someone that gives me direct guidance in how to build a cabinet? You understand what I'm saying? Like you learn by what you see at home. Sure, a lot of us have been in, and that's the thing. When you ask a lot of these women, right, especially modern women, and even some men too. Shoot, look at Cam Newton. Cam Newton said he was raised in a house with a mother and a father that were married for nearly 40 years. Yet still, he refused to get married to his woman, had 4 children, and had an outside child from another woman, cheating on the woman. Meaning that he had examples of how to be a husband. He had examples of how to do right by a woman. But he ain't taking learning because he didn't take the father say, here, tune, son. Sometimes you got to do this with your woman. Sometimes you got to do that with a woman. Sometimes a woman will do this. Sometimes in a marriage, you have to know when to push for what you want in this regard or when to stay back in this regard. I bet you if you ask Cam Newton if he had direct education on how to be a husband and a father instead of anecdotal or observational evidence, right? There was no one-on-one. There was no daddy. Tell me how does it go with sex? You've been married for all this time, right? You do your job. My mother do your job. What does submission look like? What does sex look like? I know a lot of people didn't want to hear the parents talk about sex, but this is important. If you don't find it from your parents, go to another man that has a successful relationship that you want to emulate.
But Cam Newton might be a very special case because he's a pro athlete and a millionaire. So his circumstances are going to be significantly different from what his father would be able to coach him through. You know what I mean? So when you look at a situation like his, is special because he has if he was Cam Brathwaite, he options be way different. You know what I mean? And suddenly he don't got 4 children.
I agree with you to a point, but I still feel there is some merit in going to your father and here say your tune, daddy. I understand you do not know what it's like to be a millionaire. I know you don't understand what it's like to have women that want to use you for your money and everything like that. But still tell me, once I think I have found the right woman, what do I how do I make a marriage work? You understand me? If that is the decision he wanted to do. Cam Newton been playing husband or father or whatever. He got a woman with 4 children. So at some point, he settled it down with that woman. Why didn't he marry? And a lot of people want to point to Cam Newton.
Okay, don't trick yourself, Nee. He had children with that woman. He ain't settled down with she. Difference.
Very well. But the point is, there's a reason why he didn't marry the woman. And I know a lot of people can say, oh, because he had options or he could play the field. But this woman is completely absolved of any accountability in this relationship. She was just this perfect woman. But Cam Newton just said, well, marry this woman because he just want to live a wild lifestyle. I mean, I don't know Cam Newton. I can't speak for Cam Newton. I don't know my life story. But come on, people. These are questions. Always ask why. Always ask why. So yeah, Laura, in my opinion, you can learn a lot from observation. Shoot, a lot of us learn from observation. But still, I think we need to be more. I think if you want to know how to be a successful husband or wife, I think that those conversations have merit in going to someone that has done it. And if we want to invest, if we want to become, we want to be Jeff Bezos, we want to be rich, we want to be Oprah, whatever, you can go to people that's always tell you sharks to swim with sharks. Go and get a mentorship program, invest in a life coach, invest in someone that has done it. Talk, people buy books from Warren Buffett and all these other people, right? People buying books on how to marry, people getting church and throwing a pastor. You understand what I'm saying? And I know some people do it, but no, everybody just want to get that ceremony and get that woman and get her like supply of sex and all of that. Yes, you want stability, but how does that look? You understand what I'm saying? And I am not saying that this is proof. This is a proof positive way to make sure that your marriage will be successful, because they got some people out there that marry and figuring out as they go, and that is fine. I commend you. But there are a lot of people out there that literally do not, especially the older you get, having failed relationships. At this point, you may have had failed marriages. You may have got a 1 child or 2. There is some trauma going on there. Plus the trauma that you got from childhood. And you are not talking to someone about how to be a better man or woman, or how to be a man or woman in a relationship. You just going along. You're just going along. So yes, you can be in a household and you can observe certain things. But until you ask or you are given that information that say, yo, son, I ain't gonna lie to you, right? Sex is on the woman, and they just got some you can go through a long time with getting no sex. Now, what you got to do is you got to do a couple of things. You got to, one, understand that if you are cool with not having sex for a month on end, marriage is for you. If that is a problem for you, don't get married. Women, you know what? I understand you want to get married to this man, and I understand you want to have children for this man, but understand that you having children for this man and both of you all working, having to work to get an income. Things still gotta do in the household. So have those pointed conversations. Who is gonna take care of this? And I ain't talking about bills, I ain't talking about cleaning and cooking. And the children, then got times where you can look at the man and say, call them, boy, I just can't stand the look at you. I just bear 2 of you children, my body all out of what? You know, you working hard, I working hard, and you still expect me to cook? How do you deal with that and still keep your marriage? How do you look at your man after a year, 2 years, 3 years, children, mortgages, mishaps and missteps in life, and say, you know what? I still choose right again for this man still. You can observe that all you want, but until somebody gives you that information, you talk to a pastor, you know, some people go to church, some people, you know, go back to the Old Testament and New Testament, some people talk to higher power. Some people move in different circles, move with friends that are all married. But I think there is some merit in having those conversations. I wish I had those conversations with, although I don't know how that would have gone, but I still wish there are a lot of times I wish I had conversations with older men. And I don't mean older men that tell you, man, look, she's just miserable, you need to get along and drink and you know, food saying strange. I'm not talking about those types of conversations. I'm talking about men that will give me practical life experiences and say, listen, my boy, before you get married, you gotta ask yourself some fundamental questions. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
I'll tell you this. We can save that conversation for that time because I really do want to talk about marriage. White men should not do it. But what I would love to do is invite some of the married men to be part of that show. That should be interesting. So let me not touch too much of that there right now. A comment was made earlier, says Cherish, about knowing your value, and I totally agree. Men need to understand they don't need to settle. Try to choose better and stay your course.
Jesus, Lord have mercy. Men gotta be terror selling. We gotta be terror selling. We got to be terror selling. I understand, but you see, Cherish, the reason why we do that is because sex don't come around we very often.
Exactly. It's easy to say, that men don't have to settle, but on average, most women got at least 2 or 3 men that in their orbit that they could kind of reach out to, and if they got itch that want scratching, they reach out and they get it scratched.
Sure,
Men don't got that luxury.
Ain't even about itch,
I mean?
and it isn't even about a physical itch. It's just emotional too.
Sometimes you just want a little company.
You just want a little company
for the opposite sex.
You just want somebody that you could call and say, "Hey, having a hard time, having a hard day. I need some attention from you or whatever." That's all. Man, when it come, we gotta hold on for it, and that's why, funny enough, a lot of us is get married because in the beginning, everything is look good. She gave me peace and she gave me some semblance of PEAC. You know what I mean? But we understand that proportionately, there I want to talk married, but proportionately, right? This is sex. This is peace of mind. I don't know if y'all can see my hand.
Yeah.
Right?
It's pretty much locking down. That's why men is kind of pushed for monogamy.
But hold on a minute. The sex is go down. And the lack of peace does go up.
You get it out.
Anyhow.
The
lack of peace and peace
all
does
of
go.
that. Right?
Yeah.
Because, I have my views on certain things. Anyhow. Cherry says men have more power than they realize. Well, okay, I'll leave that where it is.
You be careful, Cherry. No, you're talking about the party archer. Because we've always, we've had the power. But feminism, the extreme parts of feminism, and the cancel culture now, got me saying, don't let me exercise my power, boy.
I got to remember this line for when we talk about marriage. Men have more power than they realize. You got to keep that in mind. Carrie Ann says, living for likes and likes. I like it. Like Chronics, do it for the love, do it for the likes. Kevin in the house.
Hello, Kevin.
Good night to you, my brother. Lee says, I don't understand why it's odd to you guys. Women want these things if they can get it. LOL. And yes, I agree.
If you can get it.
As they should. Men like monogamy, women like hypergamy. It's just what it is, right?
Wait.
That last part.
You say what you just said again. Men want monogamy.
Women want hypergamy.
But there, white men is cheap. White men just run out there and go other women.
But we ain't getting into that.
I mean, I can answer. I can answer.
You can't be that rabbit hole. I explained this whole thing already. Sex is getting wrapped up in other things.
I just saying there, when we make statements, there will always be the men ain't monogamous, men ain't shit. What monogamy y'all talking about? But men don't initiate divorce. You see, just get wrapped up in the unfaithfulness, right?
Right.
And the cheating. Right. But let's be honest, I might be willing to say, look, sweetheart, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I want to keep it together. And then some women can come back and say, oh, you want to keep it together because you're going to lose half. You're going to lose you host a lot in the party archer. All right, now.
You trying to cross over into marriage talk. Let me not cross over into marriage talk, right? Yeah. Justice says I will fly them on my private jet, but they have to watch out for it. Oh, Jesus.
Was that He what? I see the comment.
I will fly them on my private jet, but they have to watch out for my enemies. Shout out to Tinder Swindler.
Oh, yeah, the Tinder Swindler, yeah.
Sapphire, good to see you in the house. Sapphire says, at 95%, I don't have stats, LOL. Don't own anything and don't bring anything to the table. They don't even have a table leg. Oh, Kevin Manning, hashtag Dubai stories.
Oh, yeah, boy. Yeah.
Instagram is a huge dating app, says Jason. People find out that I travel a few years later. Agreed. That's how it should be. Yeah. Don't post all your movements. That's when people just ask you to bring back things for them. Yeah. Sapphire, they're sleeping in bedrooms with 2 and 3 people, can't eat, can't offer you anything, not even an idea. Damn. Just when says Sapphire, you preaching the gospel. Sapphire come up in here with fire tonight. The other things that men want, they will go and get themselves. They don't usually seek these things from other people. Peace and peace. Put that on a t-shirt. It says Bartonis. It's the feminist movement. Steve, how are we guided by what we see at home? Most Black families are single parent with mother as a sole parent. Just think that happens because most of the time women want men to be assimilated into their lifestyle, way of thinking, and become increasingly agitated when you display selfish behaviors. Yeah. To which Sapphire applauds. So yeah, that is the stuff in the chat. Very interesting stuff. You see this whole thing, right? Why Neela, I do this? Because a lot of fault has been placed at the feet of men. And don't get me wrong. We know that men are perfect. We get it. We understand it. We've been told several times that men are not perfect. We understand that concept. But we come here, we try to make sure that it is clear that women, got some part to play in all this. Yeah, you are not absolved of responsibility in this. You play a part just like the men do, right? And you had a conversation with mother. I won't share the details of that conversation with all. But if you think some of the things I say are a little rough, she
yeah, the older generation.
Yeah. And she too understands that, hey, it can't always be the man, right? And if you listen to the video that we showed at the top of the show, people will have you believe that, but hey, these men are good enough, and that's it.
We gay, I mean? We gay. We ain't making enough. We ain't educated enough.
Yeah.
We's all of these things.
Yeah, we don't fully understand it, but hey, they got levels to this thing. And if a woman making, because all right, you need to use a mathematician, do some quick math there for me. $2,500 by 12 is what? Because they said that's the average salary in Barbados, right? Or sorry, they said that a lot of people make less than that.
About $30,000.
Right? So that's about $30,000. $30,000 a year. And they said that that's most people make less than that.
Yep.
Right? That what we say, that's the commerce people that released their numbers late last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you as a woman and you making $30,000 or less, well, you can't get with a man that making $50,000, $60,000. And when you put the two of them together, whoops, bam, suddenly y'all have combined income of 60 plus 30, whatever that make out to be, right? But you see, yes, Lee, 2,500 Barbados.
Yep.
And that is the...
And that's generous. That's a generous number compared to... We got somebody...
Don't make that.
We got a guy that's, he's, he knows about these things. He's working out the field. Yeah, 2,500 is generous for some people.
Right? But the challenge is now, you can't get with a man that got making $60,000, even though you only making 30. You can't, because you got to get here. You got to get nails. Yeah? You got to get designer outfits. You got to go up a yacht when the weekend come. You got to be in every cockfight that got the aqua road playing upon it. You know what I mean? I'm my Jerry Dan.
For those of you,
show what Jerry Dan, man. My Jerry Dan is.
Play again, man. Play again.
Show what Jerry Dan.
For those of you that don't know some of these references, we're talking about the Aqua Rodent and Jerry Dan. And the Aqua Rodent is Surf Rat. He is a popular DJ. He's a very rough DJ in his delivery and talking on records, and some of the records he plays. Yeah, thing. But what's funny about what you just said there, about your example? let's talk about, because the average person makes $30,000 a year. So that means a man makes around $30,000 a year. Meaning that no, you have gone and gotten your degrees as a woman, you've gotten your paper, you now make north of 50, 60, 70. How much have you made? Probably made $10,000 a month, right? You have worked hard, and that's how much you made, right? Now you want a man on that level, meaning that the men on that level are small fraction or percentile of the male population, right? So you're looking for these men, you probably but one or two had bad experiences, and you're judging all men by that. And you don't want to date a man that making $30,000 a year because you want to go the yacht or the yacht, as Derek say. You want to
can't happen with that money.
Right. So that man is you walking about money, right? So you have to come to. And the thing about it is, right, here's my thing. Some modern women have sacrificed a lot. They put on this pseudo masculine energy. They don't want to submit their boss. Either they provide, they protect themselves, and they have to put on this masculine facade to get shit done. That's how they got their degrees. That's how they got the paper and their career. But they want a man to be a man. So now you want two men in a relationship. Instead of you say, let me keep that man persona and let me find a man that is submissive, completely wholly and solely. That a man, depending on what circles you move in, beta males, a man that can just start home, clean, take care of children. But y'all women don't want that.
They're not attracted to that.
They're not attracted to that. You want a man to be a man.
At least if I choose it, the studies have shown.
Studies have shown
that they do not even respond to those men. For those of you who mischoose their show, the studies show that women who you can go back and watch that. Definitely, it's posted on our channel. But just to give a quick review, the studies have shown that women who get with men who make less than they do, they pay orgasms on those men twice as much.
Yep.
As other women.
And divorce and all of that, yeah.
They get divorced at double the rate. And their partners actually end up cheating on them because their partners are, according to studies, trying to reclaim their masculinity. Yeah. That mean any numbers that the studies have shown. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have met that up.
So to me, it's funny how women want men to be men. But they don't want to be women. They don't want to be traditional women. They want men to stand up in their masculine frame, but they are not standing in their masculine. They're trying to redefine their feminine frame to be something different. We've heard the term alpha female, right? So Derek was telling me recently, right? We were having a conversation in a different space, and Derek was saying, "Oh, he feels this is a watershed moment. This is what was the words you actually use? This is a coming to Jesus moment. This is something is going to tilt and shift. And it's funny because the people we were talking about actually agreed, and some people were giving their, looking at geopolitical and certain things as to why everything topsy-turvy and the society can even itself out, something can happen and whatever, right? It is oxymoronic. It goes against intuition that women put on all of these things to get these things because society has told them this is what success looks like for a man. Because a lot of people think it's a patriarchal society we live in, but it's a capitalist society we live in. Right? A lot of people believe that what we live in the Western world is a patriarchy. And it is so far removed from that. So now young women are coming out and saying, I see men working hard, going in certain fields, dominating, and coming out and having the success, smoking cigars, having the lot of pick of other partners and enjoying a life of luxury. So now women want to do that and facilitate that. Men don't want that, but y'all don't care what men want because y'all want to do what y'all want to do. So now, when you are, one, not finding suitable partners for you, or two, butting up on the partners and trying to run that masculine game for the men that ain't ready about that life and telling you, yeah, you got kick rocks. I'm working with that. Right? You got a problem. So At some point,
But here's the thing, Neil. The extent of the problem. You see what's happened then, because as you said, you run into them and you want getting on who you want to get on, and then the men don't take you on. But then the apex fallacies kick in. And you look at them men at top there and tell yourself that all men is get on like them. That small percentage of men that you were chasing, when it's just really not the case.
Them is the patriarchy, right? We are judged by 1%. And it's funny because we can't judge women by...
No, because the crazy thing to say is not all women. Yeah. As a matter of fact, right, Neil, let me say this too, right? As you said, to go back to one of your earlier points, we also have to recognize that while the men in that bracket are finite, the jobs in that bracket are finite, right? So then every job that paying $10,000 a month, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of people got these fancy degrees. People got degrees of pumping gas.
Yeah. I know
that's just reality.
I know Amada got I think it's a master's in computer science. And he man's a photographer. He man's a professional photographer now. Because his field has been saturated. I was talking this about with my father today. A lot of people have gone into fields. Doctor, lawyer, bike manager. That was a big thing here in the Caribbean. Doctor, lawyer, bike manager. Mm-hmm. All of those fields are saturated now. Saturated. Right?
Yep.
Saturated out the wazoo. So now women go compete with men that competing with other men. Women are more and more taking over middle management, upper management. And that is fine.
Not only that, anytime you got a surplus of anything, you know what I mean, the price of it comes down.
I mean,
yeah. So
simple economics.
There's a reason that those men at the top are so rare, and you know, you gotta come correct to get one of them. You know what I mean? I see some more stuff going on here in the chat, so let me just dive in a little bit.
Before you continue that, right? I think I must say this. There are a lot of women. Y'all might not want to hear this, right? But there are a lot of women that do have the degrees and do have the money and do have all of these things and are thinking that they're unique and special. But you are average, just dolled up in a different packaging. Because character matters. Up to now, we've not talked about character really. When we talk about high value, character is important. A lot of women are of a certain level, right? In terms of finances and want men and want certain standards or whatever, right? But when you really look at these women, they are not special. How many women walking about here with degrees? How many women walking around having the hair and nails and weave and BBLs and fake boobs and everything like that? How many women you see? Go on Instagram right now and scroll. You can either see a lot of women in some place exotic and fancy, or you can see women showing off the behind and the breast and fake hair and nails and the Gucci bag and the Birkin bag. My question to you is, how do you differentiate? What is different about you? What makes you unique? Because every man that's saying that we special, you know, we're average men. You understand? Most men are average men. But women have trumped up and empowered themselves to such a status of being special and unique. When you look at them, I cannot tell the difference between one woman when you hear them talk and speak and move and take pictures and push certain vibes and I need a man independent versus another woman doing that. What makes you special? What? Why should I choose you as a man? Why must I? You see, Cherry said it. May I have the power? Why should I get down on one knee and buy you a ring and tell you, will you be my wife? What makes you so special? Because you got a degree? Because you make $100,000 a year? But if I am the man,
I would have said it in the monologue. The things that they should pay attention to in terms of relating to a man they're doing, you know, is some fair hair and things, makeup, and nails, That's the stuff that matters, and they don't pay attention to the other things, the soft skills. I think you can save all that there for the marriage talk. Because I feel like, yeah, that's it. I'll say this, right? Give me my girl that's just simple. You know what I mean? The law airs and graces, no law flourishes, no nothing. So give me nice and simple. Yeah, know how to conduct yourself and be cool. And but when you tell you go on 3 pounds of makeup and thing, and you look a completely different person.
And you gone Brazilian, and you gone a 6-inch nails, and you gone high heel shoes. Here's the thing, though.
Don't get me wrong. I get it. There's a time and place for them things. I get it, right? So I don't want you can't dictate.
But here, that I was
presume to dictate.
I was just about to say, we are not telling y'all women what to wear. Wear what you want. We are not saying, I don't know why these women wearing. No. What I'm telling the men is, if that is not your kettle of fish,
left it out.
Do not fish in that pool. That's all I'm saying. Do not tell no woman what to wear and what not to wear. You know? Don't tell no woman, I don't know where you always go on that makeup. I don't know where you go on that Birkin, by where you always go on that Viva. You put yourself in that position. If it's not for you, don't pick up them women. You see?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that's just
most men tend to like it, as is. If a fella like you, he like you.
But here's the thing, though.
And he need you in all the makeup and or war paint, as one friend of mine, we call it. He need all that.
War
but,
paint.
If that's what you want to wear,
war
you
paint.
Can wear. Fellas, it's up for you to decide if you got to accept it or not.
Yeah, war paint on somebody else's scalp. Yeah, I just, don't tell a woman what to wear. The same way a woman could got standards of you gotta be over 6 feet and this 9 next to you, sir. If you don't like fake hair, I don't like fake hair. I don't like the lot of fake nails. I don't like the lot of makeup. I don't like nothing fake for my woman. I ain't telling no woman not to wear. And I will posit to you, Derek, I don't even know if men necessarily like them things. I think
they don't. I can't think of many men that do. And I'll say this, right? If you put spinners, spoiler, and tinted windows on a mock, still a mock.
Still a mini mock.
Still a mock. Then you could put on it big muffler, rims and spoiler and all that. They can make it a Bentley or Mercedes. Just saying, so it is what it is. Hey, O'Neal, let me get this shot here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lee says $2,500. That's just my bills. Don't season. Just in. Thankfully, though, there are some amazing women out there who don't subscribe to these fourth wave feminist ideologies. Amen. Let me say here, O'Neal, that there are good women out there. There are good women out there. I do agree with that. I said this on a live stream before. Let me say it again so people can have it on record that Derek said, yes, there are good women out there. Yeah. Sapphire says, these women are either taken, prefer to be single, or are very difficult to find, like a needle in a haystack. I would say in a needle stack, a specific needle in a needle stack.
Boy, Derek boy, I don't know how to approach this topic.
Leave it where it is then. You don't have to approach it.
Okay.
Let me just stay in the chat and keep going forward, right? Yeah, if men hated women as much as social media tells us, we wouldn't sacrifice our financial well-being for as many women as we do. Too many men don't look after their own bag, trying to prove their value. Yeah, they say all men is trying to prove they're not broke. The chick that's broke, right? Ruben says 100% just staying straight, fastest way to waste money. Yeah. I think that biology steps in to save men from themselves. We have a longer shelf life in terms of fertility, and our later years tend to be our best. But you better don't repeat the things I say in polite company. More focus further in career, more awareness, more appealing to the women out there who want the ready-made man. Yeah. These are things we say all the time, but people don't really take me on. We have way more options. People don't like to hear it, right? Let me put it that way. We have way more options at that point from among the younger crowd, women our age. We have way more options. Yeah. At this point, Natalia has a line she likes to use. Natalia say, I could date your father, or I could date you or your father. Right? Big up Natalia. At this point, Neil, I could date ladies my age. I could date. I have dated ladies a little older than I am. I go with ladies 30s, 20s. Yeah. Because sure, I try to keep myself in fairly decent shape. You know what I mean? So it kind of preserves me a little longer.
Not bad for a teacher.
Yeah, not bad for a teacher. You know what I mean? Ruben, a man's advantage is shelf life. He better off avoiding marriage until he is 40, until he's 40 plus, and until he does about 4 words too many. But anyhow, Ruben says, plus raising kids in our 30s is massively financially draining here, man. Most women that like the nails and makeup are gray, just saying. But when you slap into her late at night, a more look real good. That's true. As it says, aren't you, Derek? Just saying. That's how I tend to look at it. You know, more is a more. Okay, we put on it. More is a more. Guys, we are 9:36. As I say, we can try to punch out a little earlier tonight because Leland and I got some more work to do after we shut this down. So let me say here, again, an enjoyable stream. We got into some stuff. We received some bad news at the start of this particular stream. Passing of one Kevin Samuels. So yeah,
Godfather.
He was kind of inspirational to a lot of people that do similar content to what we do here in the Senate. So we got to Kevin Samuels, we got to his respects and condolences to his family, his friends. You know, a lot of content creators are definitely going to feel this. So yeah. Guys, like we don't make the rules, we just make sure you know what they are. You can ignore reality all you want, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Yeah, be the best version of you for you, and we will see you guys again next week. We got shorts coming for you, so you can look up for one tomorrow. You can look up for one on Monday. Please remember the ACD number is coming at 5 something today. Please remember, guys.
Wait, man. Play Uncle again. I didn't hear you properly, man. The contaminated environment. And the tutus about that. That's right.
Yeah, keep your mask on. Stay safe, guys. We are gonna see you all again later. Peace.
Peace and love.